There are things we've taken for granted because maybe we think we create some things, and even though we do, some actually are driven by the historical epoch in which we are living it. So if you tell them like, look, we are going to build for a museum that has these big statues of Luanda Magere and these stories and what, and then if you go to another community that occupies a specific place that has a specific potential, let's say for example you've gone to Northeastern Province area, and then you talk about the potential of that place. I'm Richard Oduor. I'm the founder of Sisi Afrika books and Sisi Afrika magazine. I'm a publisher, I'm a researcher, I'm a writer, and I'm glad to be here today to have a conversation with Eric Rumiamoto Swahili.
So hello, welcome back to Conversations in Literature. We are back for the second episode of the year, and like I said, we are going to have some really serious conversations this year. So today I am joined by the author of this book. It is a work of historical biography. It's a biography rooted in history. His name is Richard Oduor Oduku. And he is the founder of Sisi Afrika, which is a magazine, and it's also a publishing house. It's the publisher of this book, so he's both the author of this book and the publisher. And he is also a writer, editor, research consultant. He has written fiction, poetry, literary reviews. His poetry has appeared in different places, including the San Antonio Review, Saraba, and fiction and non-fiction work in Saraba, Africa, Brito Paper, This is Africa, The Elephant, and so many other places. His short story, one of his short story, Engagement, was shortlisted for the British Science Fiction Association Awards 2015. His poetry collection was shortlisted by the Brunel International African Poetry Prize in 2017. His essays have also been shortlisted by Brito Paper Award for Essays Think Pieces 2017 and Brito Paper Anniversary Award 2018. You know, just like you told me you left the scene in 2017.
There was a freeze.
Yeah? You left the writing scene, 2017, 2018.
I froze, and then it's like a hibernation.
Yes.
Hibernation.
And then you came back with this book in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the hibernation. So that's, yeah.
It's the wilderness years. Steve Jobs had his wilderness years.
Yes.
When he left Apple.
Oh yeah, when he was thrown out of Apple.
That's when he went and bought Pixar. And turned it into a movie company. It was a technology company.
It was a technology company. Turned it.
All right.
But yeah, it happens. It happens. It's part of life.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the only thing is that I didn't expect it to go for long.
All right.
But it went for a good number of years, 5-6 years. Yeah, but then I'm back.
All right.
Yeah.
So today I want us to talk about Kenya. There's a chance that you live in that country. There's a chance that you come from that country. And we want to talk about something called memory. National memory. Kenya's national memory. So to start off, I like to use quotes from literature or quotes from different places as a way of centering, or I don't know, the conversation to sort of ground it. So there is this quote which we have all heard by Chinua Achebe: "Until the lions have their own historians, the history of the hunt will always glorify the hunter."
Yes.
What do you think?
Speaks for itself. It speaks of history. is written mostly by the victors.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so sometimes history can, a preservation of that power position,
Okay.
in the sense of there was a contest and one party emerged the victor, but it can also be written from a position of resistance in which those who were thought to be vanquished can also use history to show that there were wins in the struggle and that the struggle has not ended. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so even for now the hunter and the lion, so long as they are still in the jungle, yeah, it's not over. So history is a contest. Yeah.
So whose responsibility is it to record history?
That's
Is it the responsibility of the state to record the national history of this country?
First of all, what is national history? Which national are we talking about?
We will come to that. Okay, what's a nation and what's a state?
A nation could be what we call a tribe, and that's why in places like Kenya we have a republic, which means there are nations that have come together. Then a state is just that specific boundary, bounded by sovereignty, and that can exercise certain responsibilities.
Don't we have a Kenyan nation where we speak Kiswahili and Sheng, where we know Calligraph Jones?
We do.
Okay.
We do.
So
but of course, at that level, then, like a nation is an emergent entity.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about a state? What's a state?
So a state grows out of a nation, like what administers.
Okay.
Yeah, that unit that administers.
So the state is the instruments of violence used to control.
Yeah. They own the instruments of violence. Yeah.
Okay.
And
the state holds the instruments of stories. The stories that we tell.
To an extent, yes.
The narrative, the history.
Yeah, it can essentialize certain narratives and sort of erase other narratives.
Okay.
But the bigger picture is usually what are the relationships within what we call a nation or within what we call a state. So the balance of those relationships will determine what kind of narrative, whether it's political, whether it's cultural, that sort of carries the day. Because history in itself can also be a tool for governance, for ruling. Yeah, so it depends on what is the relationship between those who are governing and the governed, and then sort of the balance of that relationship will determine whether the state decides to essentialize certain narratives for the purposes of governance, or the purposes of erasure, or the purposes of oppression, or it uses a certain kind of historical narrative for the purposes of sort of building a closer relationship with the people, increasing a sense of ownership, people's history, and also for remembrance, the value of that history in remembrance, and then also in helping that state, that nation remain like as a single governing entity. So it depends. A lot of it usually depends on the relationship between who are governing and who are being governed. So if it's smoother, in the sense that the state doesn't seek to oppress the citizens to conform, then the political history of that nation is more balanced, and it draws a lot from the culture of that land. If you have a situation where the state seeks to oppress, then they are going to essentialize certain narratives that enable them either to subjugate or to erase or to devalue other people that exist within that system. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk.
As for the responsibility, it's both ways.
All right.
Like I said, it can be used for resistance, in which you can have people who feel like they have been delegitimized, or their histories have been erased, or whatever popular history of the state that is being presented out there seeks to continue marginalizing them, so they can write their own history as resistance against that kind of erasure. Yeah. So the responsibility is political, and it goes both ways.
All right.
But the sense of doing it is what maintains people's lives, people's stories in the history of a nation. Yeah.
So let's talk about Kenya, the formation of this state, of this country, not even the state, of the nation.
Of the nation.
We know the state is about the entity that has the instruments of violence. So the state was clearly created.
Yes.
Immediately the British come in.
Yes.
So that's when the state starts to build.
Yeah.
But the nation, as it's something slower, because you cannot force the nation to develop.
Yes.
It's from the people, right?
Yes.
So in the 1800s, we have the British East Africa Protectorate. That's the territory called Kenya, but also maybe also touching on Uganda.
Yes, yes.
So for that period, I imagine people didn't think of themselves as Kenyans, but as East Africans.
Yes.
In 1920, Kenya becomes a colony.
Yes.
Now it's the colony of Kenya. In 1921, Haridhuku has a party, Young Kikuyu Association,
Yes.
which he then transforms into East Africa Association.
Yes.
The naming of this party is very interesting to me. He didn't call it Kenya Association, it's East Africa Association.
Yes.
Which suggests to me that at this point,
there
were no Kenyans.
Yeah,
there were East Africans.
Reality of
yes?
The political reality of the state they were operating in was like an East African.
Yes. The Kenya colony had been formed a year earlier.
Yeah.
But it seems that the people, the sort of national feeling that we are Kenyans had not yet started. So we are still East Africans, as previously it was the East Africa Protectorate.
Yeah.
So at what point does the Kenyan nation start to develop? At what point do we start saying, you know, when the East African Association was banned,
yes,
the political, the state banned all national political parties. So you had to have tribal political parties, Young Kikuyu, Young Kavirondo, Young Akamba, Young Taita, you know. So until the maybe 1950s, 40s, when you start having the Kenya African Union and so on. So at what point does the idea start developing that I am not Kavirondo, I am a Kenyan, I am not, there was no Kalenjin, so it was, I am not a Nandi, I am a Kenyan. I am not just, I'm not just this, I am also this. At what point does that sense of Kenyan nationhood start to develop?
I think we can understand it better from the perspective of, like we were saying, it's an imagined entity. And there are reasons why people begin to imagine whatever sense of belonging, whether in a boundary or in a community. So I suppose maybe in the 1920s, when we just have a Kenyan colony, you still have, it's a colonial imposition that has been put on top of your heads, and you've not developed a sense of belonging to that entity. Because by that time, what we call nations, whether it was the Kikuyu or the Luo or the Mijikenda, not Mijikenda, or let's say the Nandi and the like, they were still operating as nations in the sense that they had governing systems that defined who they were, what kind of political systems administered issues within their land, and they also had a sense of boundary. Like if we are the Nandi, what is our boundary? Whether it's the boundary to the Luo or the boundary to... So that was their reality at the time. But then when the colony was established, the protectorate, then it comes now with the idea of a state. Of you have sort of overarching structure for governing this expanded boundary. So even though maybe you are Kikuyu, you are Kamba, and then historically, your land boundary had been to this sort of level. Then now there's an overarching reality above your governance system of now another state, which is Kenya. And so the idea was like, now all of us are supposed to be within this new reality of a state whose boundaries are these. But then because it was still not an imagination of the people, it was still difficult for them to like understand or call themselves Kenyans. And so I think they only start to become Kenyans when they start to fight for the land.
Okay.
Because now when you start to fight for the land, it means there's an awakening.
Yeah.
There's an awakening that there's an imposition that is trying to take that which has been ours as long as we can remember.
Yeah.
And so once that awakening starts and then you start fighting for it, any logical human
But they
being...
started fighting for the land as far back as the 20s?
Yeah, but still as...
The Morris Carter Commission was in the early 1930s.
Yeah, but as still as just within your... But then when you realize that there's this other structure up here, then now, because an imagined entity happens when people realize that their aspirations, their destinies are sort of interlinked in a certain way. And in this case, it was like, to be independent meant that you had to remove sort of this new structure of a state or cooperate.
I'm thinking Kenya
to
was...
govern it.
The idea of Kenyanness appeared first in the cities.
Why? Because access to...
Because that's where...
The colony.
That's where people come together. If you are in Nyeri, you're still a Kikuyu. If you are in Kisumu, you're still a Luo. But when you come to Nairobi, they are in Nairobi together. That's where in the slums, in the Eastlands, in these places. This is where now you even have to start speaking Kiswahili.
Yeah.
And they were having even prostitutes. Prostitutes were brought in from the coast. The Swahili culture started
to help
developing.
Help the men who didn't have families, who are prohibited from having families.
So how did they think of themselves when they are in this place? Another idea I saw was from Professor Ali Mazrui, who was talking about how Kiswahili became so... Like, there's a book he's written together with Alamin Mazrui. Don't know, are they brothers or something? So this book is about Kiswahili and the state. So the title of the book is Swahili and the State. So one of the ideas I found there which was interesting is that Kiswahili originally, now to be taken by the state, was used by the state to provide a language for the military because they didn't want the soldiers, the indigenous soldiers, the African soldiers, to be speaking the same language as the officers who are white, because that would actually socialize them together into the same level. So they found a new language for the soldiers, because they can't be, you are a Luo soldier, you are a white soldier, and we are all in the same army. We are speaking our languages. So they were given Kiswahili. So you find akina Idi Amin, they speak Kiswahili because he was here, right?
Yes.
When they came here to fight the Mau Mau.
Yes.
So they were all speaking Kiswahili. So Kiswahili now, according now in Uganda, the way Kiswahili was developing in Uganda was like as a language of the military because of those African soldiers that were speaking Kiswahili, which to this day I think there's a trauma of Kiswahili in Uganda because
especially
of those soldiers.
the how it is spoken.
Because of the soldiers. So apparently even thieves, when they want to scare people in Uganda, they speak in Kiswahili. But now I was adding now to that idea of in the city, where people are coming together in a multicultural environment. So the army and the city. This is where we start developing the idea of we are more than where we came from. We are Kenyans, maybe.
But before that, what was Kiswahili? I think Kiswahili was, so the Swahili especially was the language of trade, especially along trade routes. It was what was the common language that whether you are Kamba or Luya would use. I think they simply exploited.
And also a language of religion, later, of Christianity.
Exactly.
The first language that they translated the Bible into was Kiswahili.
So I think they found that among all the languages that were existing in this place, it is Kiswahili that had traveled the most and had diffused the most because of trade. Whether you are going to Busia or you are going to Kisumu, there were traders that were moving all the way from the coast to Western Kenya. So when they came, they were looking for what is the language that has diffused the most. And so they moved to sort of standardize it for administrative use. And administration, of course, was the policemen and the soldiers. And so it was the only language that...
Nabongo Mumia had already been using it.
They'd already, because of trade.
In his royal, like it was already the language of his administration.
Because it arrived there through trade. So it was just an exploitation of something that had diffused more than any other language. And they just hatched onto that. And
so it's possible to say Kiswahili created Kenya?
It's actually the language that creates a sense of Kenyanness. Because anyway, English, we know it's an imposition. If the colonial system was not imposed on us, we would not speak English. We'd speak our other languages in Swahili.
So Mazrui argues that the reason Tanzania was able to have more social integration or national integration is because now, after independence, the government went ahead to make Kiswahili the national language, which is taught in all schools. So even the Asian schools in Tanzania would be taught in Kiswahili. So Wahindi wa Tanzania, they speak Kiswahili. As opposed to Kenya, where it was wishy-washy. We want English, we want Kiswahili, hatujielewi. So it is wishy-washy. So we want it, we don't want it. We want to have it in parliament, but then we still do it in English. So it has made Kenya. I think it's something somebody said even about foreign policy in Kenya. We never really say we were on this side. We play both sides, which is to our advantage in some cases,
but sometimes
and some cases not.
But that would also be debatable. Language can be a unifying factor, but a lot of it depends on how it is used by the leadership. For example, in the Tanzania case, you would say that Swahili was one of the things that glued them together as a nation. In terms of everybody hears what, and so sort of the tribe element that could be used to show difference sort of went under the radar. But then we have other places where everybody speaks the same language, but there is no There's no peace.
But you know, it's more about how the government uses
Yeah,
it.
so it's more about leadership.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more that the language itself.
Because you know you could have the same language, but then something else will arise.
Yeah, there's always depending on how the leadership is, people would fall back to certain differences. So if you don't have good leadership in the sense of a divide and rule kind of leadership where you try to use this community to fight this community, people will fall back. Either they'll fall back to the tribe or they fall back to the clan. Or they can even fall back. It can fall back even to the family. Because at the end of the day, it's about if such a kind of leadership exists, then it means that there's no, their aspirations as a people are not one. It means that they are not speaking the same language. So it fall back to what essentializes the division between them. So a lot of what happened in Tanzania during those early years, I think, could be just that Nyerere was maybe a better leader in terms of visionary, in terms of the sense of creating a nation, maybe excelled in that, even if there are other areas that he was not as good, but on that specific aspect, he excelled, he succeeded in creating.
Because if you think about it, there was Tanganyika and there was Zanzibar.
Yes.
So first of all, he was already able to unify Tanganyika.
Yes.
Then he was able to unify Tanganyika and Zanzibar.
Yes.
You know, although right now there are some differences emerging between Tanganyika
now those
and
differences
Zanzibar.
you can directly associate them with the quality of leadership.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you have a leadership that makes people to think of who they are in opposition to who you are, then that difference is bound to be there. So in Kenya, leadership was an obstacle to us becoming like
a nation. Okay.
So everything else that we've been doing is we're just patching it up, and even now we still patch it up.
But what do you think of the place of Kiswahili today in Kenya? English and Sheng. Yes. In forging national unity. Or national something.
I think Kenyans use a language depending on either what they are doing or where they are. So English is like the language of officialdom, so to speak. It's sort of the professional language. If you want to represent your ideas, and because you've been using it throughout your education system, you've been taught everything in English. So it's the professional language. It's what you fall to when you want to communicate sort of the educated things, the things you learned from school. Kiswahili plays both ways. It's both the language of social occasions, but also the language of officialdom, because the state sort of say like, this is an official language. Sheng is, if you look at where it came from, it was first a language that, it was a language that was being used to hide from the system. Like, how can we speak amongst ourselves in ways that they
hiding from officialdom?
So if the cops were
and the teachers,
so it was a people language. It was a language that came out of oppression, and was built to provide a different sort of people-created language that could be used to escape that kind of an oppressive system.
Yeah.
And that's also one of the reasons why Sheng is constant. It changes all the time.
Yeah.
So once the system catches up with it...
Sheng is more of a tool.
Yeah. Once the system catches up with it, it just changes. Then a new generation is like, no, we don't want to use that kind of language. And then
I find what you've said like profound, because it links to the idea that even the protests that we saw 2 years ago, they were very Sheng based.
Yeah.
The language that was being used in the placards, how people are expressing themselves.
Even the choice of platforms. The choice of platforms showed the extent to which they went to escape from the typical platforms that were already being heavily monitored, already being surveillance was already high. So it changed. Came with new ways of talking about things that could not directly be related. Like you could not literally say like what this person has said means this in a literal sense, because then the burden of translation would be on your side, and then it will expose your intention. Because the moment you try to interpret it, it means you want to expose those who are fighting against an oppressive system. So
it reminds me of all the catchphrases that came up during that time. There's one which you've said right now. There's "Afande, please." You know. So if you try to ask people what they mean, then they respond "Afande, please."
So and that's a really that's an interesting one, because you know, Afande was like a symbol of authority, right? Symbol of like you stand at attention, you know. So when you add please
it's
to
from
it,
Effendi, right?
So when you add please to it, it sort of corrupts. It corrupts the meaning.
How so?
So literally, the oppressor, the person on the oppressive side, the one who is like bludgeoning, literally it's supposed to be interpreted as some kind of respect, somebody reaching out to you and sort of respectfully. But on this other side, it's sort of a caricature.
I wonder if it's that, or if it's just like Negro, please.
But even that was a caricature. It's a caricature of that position. If somebody tells like Negro, please, it's not like they're like, you know.
It's sarcastic.
It's sarcastic. And that sarcasm helps. It's one of the ways through which the oppressed resist,
are able to reclaim the power.
The system, they claim the power.
So what is national memory?
It's everything we know as a person and our sense of belonging in a place, in this case in a nation. So how we define ourselves, how we talk about ourselves, how we write about ourselves. Those contests that we have between ourselves that confirms that we are part of this big thing is all part of national memory. So to an extent is what has happened to us, whether we draw from, happened to us and experienced, when we draw from cultural memory, when we draw from political memory, when we can even economic memory. So it's all that thing that we can always latch to as things that we have experienced, and that define who we are.
All right. So this book could have been written very differently in different hands. It could have been written strictly as a biography or an autobiography. But you decided to make it about Kenya. And the story that is you are writing is a story not just about this family, but also about East Africa, starting with the slave trade and so on. Yeah. And you go into a lot of detail, bringing out the context, the historical context.
Yes.
So maybe you can walk us through what was your thought process, your philosophy when you were thinking about when you started talking with the subject.
Yes.
And how you came to think of this, to do it this way.
Yes.
And even maybe how you convinced them that this is the best way to do it. Because I'm sure there must have been some conflict.
There were conflicts, of course.
Yes.
For me, I've always wanted to, like, how do we historicize our being? And if you ask us about history, in most cases, we always just talk about the people who create history, but we rarely talk about what history has made us become.
Okay.
So the whole structure of the book, apart from being a story of a family across 4 generations, was also a story of how does a nation become. And if you latch back to what you're talking about, Kenyan, so how did we become? Yeah. And so there are too many strands of how we became.
Okay.
And for this particular story, it was very interesting to me because it's unlike other stories of how we became Kenyans, right? So picture this. You are a child in the 1800s in Malawi. You've been sent out. By that time, Americans had just introduced maize in Malawi, and now we were trying with all these plantations.
Americans?
Yeah, when maize had already arrived in Kenya. I think it's Mexico, right? Should be maize. I think maize came from Mexico, yeah. So there are maize plantations. So imagine you're a young boy, you're 12 years old, you're out there, been sent to go chase monkeys from destroying the maize. And so you are there with a stick and a stone. So when you see a monkey, you throw a stone and then chase them away. Now also imagine that in your microcosm, just as there are other things that are happening in the world, which you and your people have no idea about. So there are people, also other human beings, who have come all the way from Zanzibar, and they are interested in slaves. And so through either just walking into your village with guns and scaring everybody and capturing people, or collaborating with chiefs. And so chiefs either capture you and sell you to them, or chiefs would sort of, you've been found with a crime. And so the chiefs decide, like, you know what, if you are committed this crime and we are going to sentence you, but now the prison is that we are selling you. We are selling you to the slave, to the slavers. So you are this young boy, you don't understand all this superstructure of politics and governance and economics of slave trade that is happening. So the slave catchers are walking through the village and they see you. And then they catch you. And then they bound you.
You call it chikoti?
Yeah, chikoti is like walking with the whip.
Okay.
Yeah, so they catch you. And then before you know it, you are thrown into a long line of people who have also been captured. And you are in this long trek.
Oh, I meant Chief Wamba.
Yeah, Chief Wamba, the man stealing. Yeah.
Stealing of children or anybody?
Yeah, anybody. Some just grabbed and then basically you are kidnapped and you don't know what has happened to you. So you're thrown into this long line. You don't know where you're going. Yeah, carrying ivory, carrying what. You are going to be stocked next to like Malawi, and then you're surrounded people with guns. You're there to run, you're shot. There to run, you're shot. So now that is the young boy at the start of a family. By all definitions, he's not a Kenyan. Even in
He's a freed slave.
Yeah,
who comes to Frere Town. Eh?
So from Lake Malawi, they used to collect people when you're like 1,000, then it's put like in a consignment.
Yeah.
So you guys trek all the way to Kilwa in Tanzania, and then from Kilwa, you pushed all the way to Zanzibar, put in the slave ships, all the way to the slave markets of Zanzibar. Now, umefika Kilwa, you've been put on a slave ship. You guys are sailing now to Zanzibar. Now, the other thing that again you don't know, which is also part of the formation of the nation, so while these slave traders were doing their normal business, because they had now, by that time they had done it for hundreds of years, and there's another power
Britain
that is coming now to conquer your land. So Britain, at that point, because they'd already done a lot of slave trade from the West African side, and they were the tail end of stopping it, and even it had been, the legislations had been passed in Britain and they had stopped. So part of their moral objective when they were coming to colonize the African coast was to stop the slave trade.
Why were they stopping the slave trade? Was it to prevent other powers from rising?
No, when you colonize a place, you need the labor.
Oh.
You need the labor.
So they already knew they were going to colonize this
place. They're already in the process of colonizing.
So
you remember partition already happened in 1887.
So the whole
by the time you are
thing.
in the 1890s, you're already like 50, 60, 100 years in the process. So you are arriving in, they'd already colonized India.
What about the abolition in the US?
Yeah,
was it equally cynical?
Yeah, the two, you view it as like what we do today, what we call labor laws, basically. Yeah. It's just it's an artificial sort of legal way of still getting the labor you want at some kind of cost. But now when they were coming here, so it means now they were competitors with the Arabs. So these guys are taking people to the clove plantations in Zanzibar, and you need these guys to be here because you are going to create all these plantations here and blah blah blah. So you need to torture the guys to remain here. So when that happened, so they intercepted this ship in the high seas. So when they intercepted this ship and they brought it to the now Kenyan coast now, you know. So these people were collected from parts of Kenya, parts of Tanzania, parts of Malawi, all these people, different tribes, different languages. You've been in slave ships, trekked for 4 months. Like, the fighting spirit in you is almost gone. You've already resigned yourself to your fate. So when they are rescued, now Britain has sort of, what do we do with these people that we are rescuing from these ships? We don't know where they have come from. They don't know our language. They can't speak English. We don't know their language. We don't know where they have come from. For example, now in this case, Songoro is all the way from Malawi. So it's like, look, we are going to create a place just here in the Kenyan coast and have a settlement for these guys. So they'll whatever rebuild their life, whatever it is at that place. So by that time, there was somebody called Sir Bartle Frere. So this Sir Bartle Frere was an MP in London. So he was a very strong, one of those strong people that were advocating for abolition. So he was very interested in these interceptions that were happening in the East African coast. So when the news were arriving in London that the British Army is intercepting Arab slave traders, and these freed slaves are put in a settlement in Mombasa. So of course it created problems with the local communities. It's like, who are these people? And why are you putting them in our land? You know? So Sir Battle Freer had to sort of donations na pesa yako. You want to buy that land, so that's where now the church comes in. Like, oh, so we've bought this land. We can, of course, buying in the colonial. In the colonial system, it wasn't like an open market where your price of your land mattered, because then they were already coming in with violence.
It's more like they've acquired.
Yeah, they've acquired it. Like there's a legal, because it was needed in Britain that to show ownership of this piece of land, and so it had to be legally
they've taken possession,
acquired. So and then you can make statutes to legalize that kind of possession. And so the church comes in the 1899s. The church is being built here, and so these people become the first sort of Africans in Kenya to access Western education. So they are being taught writing, they're being taught word reading, they're being taught English.
So they're the first educated Kenyans.
Yeah, because now the colonial system is moving.
This is in Mombasa,
interior.
right?
Yeah, is moving to the interior. And so apart from the few colonial administrators, which were basically those who wenye walikuwa nasumbua watu sana in UK.
So Frere Town was named after that guy.
After him. Yeah.
Because of a bill he brought, or
so his name and collecting money. And
did he bring a bill to Parliament? It sounds like he never came to Kenya.
I don't think
so.
He came to
why
Kenya.
was the
in
town
the
named
UK?
after him?
So because now he's the one who pushed for that settlement there.
Oh, okay.
It took his name.
Okay.
It's Frere Town. And so when these guys got a sense of freedom, like every other human being, when you get a little reprieve from the disaster that your life has been since you are captured, you are like, these are our saviors. So it looks like what they are teaching us is the best thing. So
they really,
the church, their Christianity.
They really adopted Christianity.
Yeah, so it's Christianity. Because if you compare with what has been done to you up to that moment, and you don't have a bigger view of who these people are or what they have come to do with this place, you're like, it's worth.
And it sounds like Christianity became, you see what we are saying about the multicultural? Yeah. Because these are slaves from different places.
Yeah, they're different places.
Countries, different languages.
Yes.
So it's like Christianity becomes their nationalizing thing.
And the language also, the English, they're being taught, because now...
So there's no Kiswahili at this point?
No, Swahili was already
for them,
even around them, the Swahili community.
But Swahili
around them.
Is an
Arab. Of course, with time, it's a little bit of it Arab.
The Arabs were also speaking Swahili. So so their captors are speaking.
It had been there.
Their captors are speaking Swahili, but their saviors are speaking English.
Yeah, but you remember the Arabs had come. Like they were already here hundreds of years. There was already a lot of trade happening.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like. Or was Swahili also in Malawi, where they came from?
No, though they speak, they are Bantus, so of course.
No, my point I was trying to make was that the people who captured them are speaking Kiswahili. But the people who freed them
are speaking
English.
Yes.
So I'm sure they would really gravitate.
Yeah, so they are gravitating towards this other new language that is promising all this Christianity here. So there's somebody who died for your sins, and so if you are baptized, you go to heaven and stuff. These people are building a church, like you are seeing beautiful buildings being built. These people are like teaching you like civilized things, like clothes. They're bringing to you guys suits. As well, some of the first people to put on like the typical Western clothing, right? So at some point it gets into your mind, like now you are the civilized Africans. And so as civilized Africans, some of them joined the missionary communities, and they were being taken across the country to evangelize, take Jesus Christ to them. Some of them were absorbed in the colonial service. And so that's where now the story begins. That's now where now the story begins. So this guy marries another freed slave who was picked from Tanzania. So they marry, they have children. And so these children now are born in a different world, where now there's this colonial system. And so the trajectory of life that they were given is that if you go to school, then you can work. And so at that time, work now becomes either working in church or working in sort of the commercial centers that are growing now in Mombasa, or joining the colonial service. So Noah joins the colonial service after.
Noah is the grandson of the. Is the son of the.
of Songoro now.
Of Songoro. The patriarch.
Now the patriarch.
The former slave.
Yes.
Who is in the title slave.
Yes. So you join the colonial service, of course, after, you work first of all as mfanyikazi wa wazungu. Then after some point, if you are found to be disciplined and doing things well and organized and cooking well, you're like, and he was also interested in languages. So he learned Arabic. Was very good in both writing and speaking. It learned Swahili, very good in speaking and writing, and so now English. And so at that time, there are very few people with that kind of proficiency in the languages. And so he becomes now an interpreter. Now he starts from now in court, gets a job in the court.
In the civil service now.
The civil service now. And so from Mombasa, and you're thrown across the country, you're in Nakuru, you're basically now you are unemployed. You're one of the few people that exist in the colonial civil service. And now you are black, but then you are grouped with the Asians. We used to have a caste of like the whites are the top.
Oh, he was grouped with the Asians?
Yeah, he fought for it because...
And today his family is not Kenyan.
So...
lack of
the Kenyanness. The Kenyanness. So... These things go on, the colonial system grows, you grow through the service, typical promotions within a government. You work, it's the government in place and you are employed. Just like now, people are working in the civil service, even though there are people demonstrating out here that it's not working. So, get money, at least you are doing well, you know what the country is about, you know the new schools that are coming up, the alliances of this world. So you take your children to those best schools, and see what is going to come out of it. And luckily something comes out of it. And so they change, and they get changed by the trajectory of the nation. What now Kenya is becoming. So when independence happened, and the people who came in, who had been nationalists or who were fighting for independence came in, they really failed to fully define who is a Kenyan. They failed. And it was deliberate in the sense of how power operates. And so when they came in, their first objective was, of course, how do I centralize power around me and around people I know and I trust. And so the fallback beyond family is your tribe. And so if you are not sort of the mental capability of seeing the idea of a nation beyond that, and so it becomes a competition for power between different tribes. And so that contest continues to this day. And then it means that those who are not recognized as part of the tribal nations, that formed the republic. First of all, because you people are just freed slaves, you don't come from this land, you don't own this land. And second, because they could not sort of see how you people participated in the formation, even though you are participating as administrators of that colonial system, just like the Askaris who are coming from our own tribal nations. But so they stuck there, and so how it becomes a question of you've been educated, you have everything. So what opportunities are available for you? And that's now the story moves from Noah to Frederick, and then who becomes more of a business person. He doesn't get into the civil service. And so from the business, he also supports his family. But then the grandson now, Ed Abadasi, gets back to the civil service. Now where now Kenya becomes now an independent republic. And so now the story flows from there to the end.
What job did Sangoro do?
Most freed slaves were just artisans, builders, carpenters. For example, if you look at the church that was built there, the laborers were these freed slaves. Laborers were these freed slaves because they were being taught the typical carpentry, tailoring, the things that the white people thought befitted your sort of mental, your intelligence. So those are the jobs they did. Those are the jobs they did. Trade. So those are the kind of jobs they did.
Somebody told me that when somebody from your family, like if somebody, like a patriarch, somebody does a certain job or goes into something and is successful in it, it opens the doors for their children, their descendants to go into the same line. So you find Ngoge is a writer. I think like 4 of his children
all the kids
are writers. I don't know, several. So you find somebody is a scholar, their children are scholars. So I'm seeing this thread in this family. One of them starts in the civil service. Then it becomes easier for others to come in. And this guy goes all the way to become Commissioner General.
Exactly.
So the civil service was a lifeline for this family.
I think you can look at it just like how business works. When there's already somebody there that knows the ropes, then the bar of entry is much lower for you. While for somebody else who do not have somebody in the system, what we call connections now, basically. So if you have somebody within the systems, they already know things. They know, have you done this? Did you apply for this? Can you go and see so and so? So sometimes they even influence the courses academics you take. In terms of like, no, do this one because your uncle and your brother and so they're in that field. And so it becomes easier to sort of get into. And also because those are the kind of things you saw in your home when you are growing up.
All right. Do your kids want to be writers?
Obviously. My daughter is a very good artist. Draws very well. But they also love the science. But my son is incredibly good in maths.
In maths?
He does things in maths and in space science. He's always on planets and galaxies, and he's only 6 years old. So, I think to an extent, yes, because of what they see at home. Because when you're watching a documentary for whatever Andromeda and they are there, that's what they start to like.
Alright.
And when you have books at home and they see you reading those books, and then that's what they also start to do. They learn most by imitation. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about like the concept of contested narratives,
Yes.
rewriting history, and now especially when you are doing a book like this, it's a personal story,
Yeah.
but you are writing the story of an individual, and there is a way the personal story can reframe or rewrite the official national history.
Yeah.
Did you encounter that sort of problem when you were working on this book?
There's some enduring things in our republic, the thing we call tribalism. That ultimately one of the reasons why he was kicked out of even KRA after he had formed it, and now they were starting the process of implementing it. And this is after he had been sent to New Zealand and learned how to implement that system. Yeah. Tribalism came on, and like we want our people in that position, and that's, you're thrown outside. Then because they don't know how that thing was supposed to be implemented, because they were not sent to train for it, the whole thing gets messed up. So what we have is just patchworks.
What about you as the writer?
Yeah.
Or are there some narratives that you come across when you are researching this that feel inconvenient, or they are not meshing with the official story that we have? So it's like this story, when you write it, it will have to, by existing, rewrite history.
Yeah, there are parts that is I wrote even in this book when writing about the story of Noah. You remember we were starting from a very sort of victim position of a slave.
Okay.
Right?
Songoro.
Yeah. We were starting with a position of a slave. But then, in a colonial system, now the son is on the power side. While Kenyans are, I've already said, like Kenyans are under oppression, like colonial oppression, like across the country. In those years that he was a thriving civil servant, across the country, there was a insane colonial oppression. And so I wrote about it, the paradox of the narrative of me saying, like, I was a son of a freed slave, in relation to you being a thriving civil servant in a colonial system where other people are under colonial domination, colonial oppression. So I wrote about it. So it was very uncomfortable because the story could not be linear. That you have always been on one side.
It's not tidy.
Yeah, it's not tidy. That you've always been on the victim side throughout. And that story, we see it even in our current political history and memory. There are people who, because at independence they were recognized as the leaders who sort of pushed us to independence, we have the second, third generation of those people who have now become the overlords of the republic. So to what extent are the freedom fighters, even if we were to like make them like permanent heroes in our narratives, to what extent are they actually permanent heroes if some of the problems that we still encounter in the republic were actually caused by them when now they took the leadership? And so history is always contested. And like we said, it depends on who is writing it. And then for our political heroes, if, let's say, we say the Kenyatta family, I think Jomo Kenyatta is a contested history.
And yeah.
There's the official history.
Even his birth is contested.
Yeah.
I've seen Ugandans claim
He's a contested history.
Ugandans claim that his father.
It was a Ugandan.
Yes. Actually, we should talk about how politicians.
Yeah.
And this is something I really like to talk about. How politicians in Kenya, more than anybody else, have understood the role of narratives and the role of history.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example with each of the major politicians.
Yes.
You start with Jomo Kenyatta.
Yes.
Jomo Kenyatta very conveniently put the word Kenya in his name. To the point where you find a Gen Z, Gen Alpha might think, okay, Kenyatta is called that because he's the king of Kenya. He's the king of Kenya. I've seen some white people. Yes.
African Americans,
yes.
Caribbean.
Yes.
Kenyatta is one hell of a nationalist.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like perfect branding right there.
Yes. Let me give you another example. You take somebody like Raila Odinga.
Yes.
He brands himself as one of the descendants of Nabongo Mumia.
Yeah.
History.
Yeah, history.
You take William Ruto.
Yes.
He abandons his family name and adopts the name Samoei, which now links him to the Koitalel.
Yeah, or the Koitalel.
Because, for many people who may not know that this is not his real name, they'll be like, oh, this is the descendant of Koitalel Arap Samoei.
Yeah.
He is coming in the spirit.
And so all the attributes.
Right now, we have
leaders.
Yes. Right now, we have another guy. What's his name? Rigathi. He says he's son of Mau Mau.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is not even necessarily true.
Yeah, it's not, but it's good narrative.
Yes.
Very.
So you link yourself to the history, and then they have, and now there's also the opposite way of it. When your enemies want to discredit you, they've taken Babu Awino and said it's Patel. It's Patel.
So the guy has to go to the village and parade people.
He said, "This is my father."
This guy is my father. This guy is my mom.
Yes.
It's and Kenyan politicians have learned how to play with political memory. Oh. They've learned. It's always they're always just waiting for the opportune moment to pull that up.
Yeah.
When it is extremely convenient, pull that up, and then it serves the political function. At the time.
Yeah.
And it's even happening now. It's like people probably would not like logically think like, we think we are trying to push like a third generation into political leadership because of the second generation, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how kings became. That's how hereditary. That's how hereditary leadership became. Because the subjects were convinced for hundreds of years that gene for royal leadership resided only
in that family. Yeah.
And so the kings and the princes comported themselves in a certain way to show some level of finesse, whether it's in how they spoke, that's how they debated issues in the society. They were taken to special training so that the subjects could always see them as refined. And now, both in Kenya and Uganda, we're having a situation where we're having a struggle of defining what leadership actually means in just a liberal democracy. And we are sort of falling back to the old divine right of the kings.
But I thought we destroyed the dynasties in Kenya. We say the dynasties must fall.
It was the narrative
Little
at the
did we
time. It
know.
was convenient. I told you.
Little did we know that we were creating new dynasties.
I told you that we are very good at conveniently
Yes.
using those kind of narratives when our politicians want something. But after that, it becomes a problem. And this happens even in very mature democracies, even let's say in the United States. Yeah, the conversation could be like, is Michelle running? Like,
I've seen that.
Hillary Clinton ran.
Oh, I see. Oh, if Michelle ran, she would easily win.
Husband was a president.
Yeah.
And
to be
now,
fair, she was Secretary of State as well.
Yeah, but still, now in the US, in people's minds, they're like, okay, maybe in 20 years,
they're already speaking about Barron.
They talk about Barron, like maybe in 20 years, he could be our president.
I've heard right-wing podcasters, fairly intelligent people talking about Barron, and and
there's no leadership qualities.
Like they really, he's so tall, and they're like, this young man is well behaved. He's this. I'm like, dude, you are like 40. This guy is 20 or 19, and you're praising him as if there's anything he's done in his life.
Yeah, it's very subtle in the way politicians do it, of introducing their next sort of scene to the same political path. We had a conversation with you and Mood, right?
Oh, yeah.
When Mood was launched and the political implications of that, especially in a city, an urban culture. Now, of course, in the Raila family, we are having a contest between Oburu, and we are having big discussions on whether the party should be given to win.
And it's all about family.
Yeah, like we are actually having...
It's either this member of this family or this member of this family.
We're actually having a conversation. Like it's an actual conversation.
Nowhere at
irrespective of that, there's no like leadership sort of qualities in terms of doing that has been shown to us. But that's a conversation we're having. Like the party should be given to win. There's a time I remember when Kenyatta, just before he retired, there's a lot of talk of Ngina, of who in the Kenyatta family is going to come back. Yeah.
How old are you?
No. Like I'm talking of Uhuru Kenyatta. The daughter.
You know, anytime somebody says Kenyatta, for me it's the senior.
Yeah, there was a lot of conversation because people was like, she's fine, speaks well, cultured, and so us as subjects of this state, we're like, that person should lead us. Now, Mutai Ngunyi has started conversations about Muo.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Kenyatta as a potential.
It has been there for a while, actually.
2032.
I saw a poster, I think a few years ago, about last year.
Yeah.
It was Mohoho and I think Kalonzo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we are seeing just a few months ago, we saw when Gideon Moi came to the broad-based government, we again saw those conversations. So to an extent, you are going to have like 5 or 6 families whose scions are going to have a very low barrier of entry.
I think it really disadvantages young people in Kenya who want to get into politics, because a lot of what we call political aura is really family. Yeah,
it's family. And so when you have conversations...
If Winnie Odinga was not a daughter of Raila,
do you think...
I don't think we would be saying she has aura.
No.
We would be saying she's courageous.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be talking about her the same way.
You know, that the language would be totally different.
Yeah.
And so it's subtle in a way in which us, as people who have identified themselves as subjects of the system, of the state, see ourselves as not worthy of some of those positions. And so we look at people who we believe, maybe through hereditary or whatever, have those qualities.
The divine right of kings.
The divine right of kings that is to have like they can make no wrong because So that is happening now, and it's part of memory.
And this is coexisting. This is happening in a democracy.
Yeah, this is happening in a democracy where people are protesting for human rights, and people are calling presidents out.
Which makes you wonder to what extent is democracy what we thought it was?
We have not been totally weaned out of sort of our hereditary systems of leadership and of kinship.
Should we?
And a lot of it, or should we?
Maybe it looks like it's the natural way of actually doing it.
Yeah, but if you look at
we keep
how
returning
those
to
kings sustained, it wasn't. It
wasn't pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Yeah, so it's the same thing that is happening, only that now there are other tools of achieving that.
Yeah.
But in 10 years, if some of these things we are talking about in terms of now the Sions that are being seen as leaders, if it happens and they become a core part of the leadership of the future, whether post 2027 or post 2032, then this would just be the basic reason. Is because people subconsciously, through socialization, believe that they cannot lead those people. And so they bow down, even if they don't, they bow down figuratively.
Is this one of the, what do you call it, the consequences of history? So, of history and of national memory. So the fact that we have a national memory of Kenyatta, like of Dedan Kimathi. So if Dedan Kimathi's great-grandson came up today and he turned out to be quite fiery and eloquent, we will vote for him. Not because he is fiery and eloquent,
because we associate
that fire with his...
with the great-great-grandfather or grandfather.
So is this like... This is one of the consequences of the national memory?
It's because in Africa, and maybe you can even say in Latin America, most collectivist cultures, actually, we are running parallel knowledge systems. There's a traditional knowledge system, and then there's an imposed sort of Western knowledge system. So in the traditional knowledge system, we still do those things every day. How we sell in the market is still very traditional. Knowledge system, we are haggling, we are all over the place, you know. How we marry, whether it's a dowry. That's purely traditional knowledge system. How we teach our kids to do some things, whether how we build our houses, where does it face? For example, even if in the Luo culture, it has to face a certain way. If there are other people, like let's say your brothers that are also going to be like, say for example, the Luo culture, if the first son would build on the right, and then the son following builds on the left, and then so it's sort of in the sense of like there's a certain superiority, which in that case is defined by age, and we still do that even to this day. There are other things like the planting, whether there's birth, how many days before you bring your child out, take it to your mother or grandmother, or whatever. Subconsciously, we still do those things. And then there's sort of the Western knowledge system, in which, circumcision was another one that I wanted to say as part of the traditional. And then now, these are the modern Western sort of knowledge system has a structure to it, in the sense of when you're like 6 years old, we are taking you to school.
And also Christianity.
School and church. So in the church, you are going to be taught that there is one God, Jesus is his son, the Holy Spirit, all that thing. And so you have to obey in a certain way, because this is what is expected of you as a Christian. Of course, it serves the system that you are obedient and can follow those rules. And then in the education system, you're prepared for a capitalist economic system of production.
Yeah.
In the sense that we are sort of giving you what Paulo used to call sort of the banking model of education, where they just put things in your head. So irrespective of where you come from or what you want, this is the syllabus. And so we are going to instruct you in this syllabus until you come of age. Yeah. And so when you come of age and you've finalized these stages of education, then you are eligible to participate as a laborer in this capitalist system. And so we do that. And so sometimes there's conflicts. There's a lot of conflicts. Like, for example, in circumcision, when now you have the UN conventions that is fighting FGMs. And so you organize with the local hospitals to do your FGMs in the hospital. Used to call it the medicalization of FGM, where now instead of having the old mothers who are, that was their customary function of doing the cutting.
Oh, it's done in hospital?
Yeah, now it's done in the hospital under
okay.
surgical light and scalpels.
And is that legal now?
Of course it is not legal, but it's because of the conflict, the psychological conflict of the community. In the sense of, this used to be our rite of passage. If they don't want us to do it this way, can we use the modern way of doing it? Then now they're like, okay, if you don't do it, then what replaces it? It's like, oh, so ladies at this age is taken to a camp and taught blah, blah, blah. So it's the struggle with the rite of passage, even though there's a parallel education system that is going on.
Yeah, and then now politically.
Now the same thing happens politically. So traditionally, most leadership was either age set based, in which an age set would elect the leader for the community, where now the older age set sort of retires out of age, or it was hereditary, in which this is the leader, this is the royal sort of, if it was a kingdom, so the king sits here, and their kids become the princess and princesses, and then it was either it goes.
Which one was it for the Luo?
I think for the Luo was
when they talk
a sort
about
of council of elders.
When they talk about we all had the council of elders.
It was a council of
but
elders.
There was the age set.
So it was like just like a king, but not like the.
So you didn't have the Rika.
No. So just like a king.
So the old generation didn't die out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have a king. We used to call Ruoth, not like a king, just Ruoth, like a leader.
All right.
And then
was he
operate with
in our council of elders from my place, the person who is in charge of the person, and there was a council of elders everywhere. Like it wasn't.
It was like the parliament. Now
it wasn't that there. Yeah, it was called Kiama, which is like parliament.
Yeah, it's parliament. It's
it
like
wasn't that there is one. There's one council for for the entire community. It was like, you see, there's a ridge here, there's a council here.
Yeah.
If you go, ukienda pale mbele, there's another one there.
Because it's just
So it was the same for you guys.
Yeah, just a few homesteads. And then for those homesteads, which would be like a clan, who are the elders there, and how do they speak about the issues of the community.
Okay.
So even though the colonial system came and we got independent and we had this sort of Western system now of constitutionalism, where a president is elected through universal suffrage and blah, 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 we still had this other. And that's why when you look at the people who found their way in the Lechko, most of them were from families that were prominent.
Okay.
They were not anybody. Not anybody found themselves in the Lechko. They were like the sort of like son of a chief or the chiefs or whatever. So they're already prominent within their communities. Before now they sort of jumped into this new system of a constitution and a parliamentary democracy and a republic, blah, blah, blah. So because of that continuity of that old leadership system grafting itself into the modern leadership system, the people still saw it as a continuation. And so it's very difficult. I know now Kenyatta is very loved in Central. Yeah. But it's just because of that kinship sort of thing that is in the blood. Like there's not really this big explanation.
And to know that it wasn't, he was from a very poor background.
Yeah.
For him to get where he got to, he also married into it.
Yeah.
His last 2 wives were daughters of chiefs.
So
yeah.
The people, and you can even see it now, you see these weddings on social media, and so daughter of CS marries the son of CS there. So it's a system of maintaining power relations that goes on even to this day. So I don't know the extent to which we can argue democracy beyond the sense that they are elected by a majority. Yeah, but it's the conflict of the two. So we are always struggling to have like a hybrid.
There's something I wanted to talk about. This is one of those, this is what I love. This is one of those things that I don't know how to put it in words when I read a book. But I can try. So this is what I wrote. Most biographies tell the person's story plainly. Yours has a historic or historical grandeur, not due to the bombast of the language, but due to a certain eye, a sensibility that is fed on historical fidelity, as if the story is being narrated by the voice of history itself. So I was trying to say this is something that I have seen when I read Edward Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire.
Yes.
Winston Churchill's The Birth of Britain. So there's a voice there, there's a style there that is historical. I don't know if this is something that makes sense to you.
It does. Because I was very interested not only in how people create history in the sense of the big actors we see in big history, but also how history creates those people. I think look at it from the perspective of the butterfly effect. Yeah, like a single movement of the wing.
So what I was what I was experiencing is the unity it's the coherence of your vision in this book.
Yeah, sometimes we think we've created things. Sometimes we think we are the heroes. And that everything that we have is because we have done everything to get it. But sometimes it just happens because there's a certain historical situation that happened. And so we found ourselves either because of our own personality as individuals or because of our familial sort of lineages. And it of course links to what we were saying. Somebody like Winnie do not think of themselves as an inheritor of something. They think they made themselves who they are. Yet just on the opposite side, or just somebody standing next to him is Babu.
Who has done way more.
Yeah, but doesn't have that heft of blood, of lineage. Yeah.
And if Babu being who he is, had a Baba in his life,
it would be totally.
He would be a presidential candidate this year.
He will be. Yeah, exactly.
He would be
on
directly
the ballot.
Having done all he's done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that is the situation we have. So, and I'm interested in knowing just how much of what we think we know is just created by our circumstances. And I think now we are going to see a lot of that. On the political space, we see how propaganda creates things in real time. We see how hashtags create things in real time. We've seen leaders who've been created by virality.
True.
People who never thought they could vie for MCA.
Yeah.
They do something stupid and then they get famous on Facebook or social media and get too many followers, and then all of a sudden they are leaders and people want them to be political leaders, you know? And in the age of now technology where we are, in let's say AI, there are people who are going to be writers who, when they were young, never thought themselves as people who could be writers. But because now they are existing in a space and time where there's a certain technology that aids in sort of making sense of your disjointed thought processes, then all of a sudden now they are writers. And then they are writing books and they are selling books. Yeah, so a good part of who we are is essentially those historical sort of developments that have formed us. And I mean, I'm really, it's something I continue chasing to see just what in somebody's life story is related with other historical events, other historical developments that have occurred in the space where they existed. I think one of the biggest things that we've been talking about was maybe the free primary education from Kibaki. The people who experience it do not know that they just existed in a historical moment because it ended.
Oh, okay.
But they do not understand the momentous reality that changed, or even us getting the internet and undersea cables and everything, and having 1,001 radio stations in 1,001 languages. There are things we've taken for granted because maybe we think we create some things, and even though we do, some actually are driven by the historical epoch in which we are living it.
By the circumstances.
Yeah, by the circumstances. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it will be very interesting in understanding what really is because we are who we think we are.
Have you done reflection on Richard's the making, the becoming of Richard Oduor and the historical circumstances that have created him?
For us now, at least you can reflect. You know, if you get some big deal somewhere, maybe get some good money, you know whether it's because it was purely your competence, in the sense that people were choosing who is the best and you got it, or because there was a connection you had in the place, you know. And so even now, when decades later, when probably you've gotten so much money and you start telling us your grass to grace or whatever stories, but at the back of your mind, you actually know.
That's a good one. As somebody who is working on biographies or autobiographies, so how do you reconcile this? Because your clients want you to tell grass to grace stories, but you want to look at the circumstances that created them historically, which is an interesting story, but is not necessarily the story people want to tell, because people want to tell the stories of how, as an individual, I hustled, and here I am, despite, maybe I am a child of privilege, but I want to obscure that and focus on my efforts.
I've not been in a position where that is the case. And I would probably not work on such a book, because I like work that brings out the sort of the complexity of the human experience, rather than just you talking about the lists of things you achieved and your success and all that. I'm like, if you did it well and good, you can capture it. But there's a certain complexity, especially because biographies start when you don't have anything of your own. It's easier to detect those things that either bring you fortune or throw you to the other side. And maybe we'll also be, I think there's a tendency that biographies have to be like positive, they have to be and successfully, and when now you're wealthy and retired and your family. I think we'll also be chasing those those human stories that are not necessarily what we consider now as the big stories, just human stories of people and the experiences of their life, whether they actually sort of hit the apogee or not. Because I think that's more interesting. So at the end of the day, there will be few of us who are going to like hit like the top. And our stories are also are valid, right?
True.
Our own stories are valid. So we are not going to be just looking for the big stories or the big political names or the big business. No. Just human stories. I think human stories are more beautiful. And it was why this story started from. It was supposed to start with Edgar.
Edgar?
Yeah.
It's the story of, it was supposed to be the story of Edgar.
Yeah. It's just my insistence that let it be
how do they feel now at the book that you ended up writing? Because I feel it's a more important book this way.
It's perfect then because they have nothing else to retell.
And you also did like some broad sweeps, like you would go through the years very fast.
Yeah, but that is a question of just space.
I thought it was a question of you are focusing on what is most either most interesting to you or most in line with the how do you call it, the story you want to tell. So if there are parts of the story that are not fitting into what you want to talk about, which was the history and everything, you left them out.
No, it's a question of memory. In most cases, we have markings in life, these transitions that we can always point out that defined who we became. Some of these transitions are good, some of them are bad. And so the thing with memory is that sometimes your brain throws away the things it perceives as not important to your life story. And so when sometimes you're having interviews and you're having conversations with some of these people, they might not remember certain things, or they will remember it later on when you're talking about something completely different. So remember, you're patching something like 200 years, and you're starting from a point where there are no documented records. There are very few. And some of the confirmations that we even did, we went to Frere Town Cemetery to look at some of the descendants that were buried there. Even Songoro's grave is there. And even there's a picture, I think there's a picture of the cemetery here that shows sort of to give it tangibility. Yeah. So memory, sometimes we think we can remember so many things until somebody sits us down and asks us like, do you remember who was your class teacher in class 1 or in nursery school? And then you'll realize like, damn.
You could remember their name.
Yeah, you couldn't remember their name.
You could remember their name, but you might not remember how they look.
Yeah, how they look like. It's a very weird thing.
What they wore.
It's a weird thing. You'd meet people who sometimes you think you'd seen them somewhere, you don't remember their names. Or you'd have names of people who maybe appeared at some point, but you'd meet them somewhere and you wouldn't recognize them because you've forgotten.
There's a conversation I was having here where I made the point that memory is so fickle.
It is.
To the point where it begins to be imagination. So
actually we plug.
Yeah.
sometimes we when we are recreating our memories, it reminds me of something that Ngugi used to say, especially when they were growing up, that a good storyteller is somebody who can tell the same story in completely different ways.
Yeah. And which is what I have always said about his entire over. It's the same story over and over and
over told in so many different ways.
If you read his biography, his autobiography, what do you call them? His memoirs.
Yeah.
Those are the stories in his novels.
Yeah. And so a good part of it sometimes is a verifiable experience that happened. Sometimes it's sort of convenient imaginations. Yeah, some other things that you use to plug.
Yeah.
Because if you're writing at 90 years or the extent to which you can remember something that happened to you when you were 2 years old or 3 years old is contestable.
How much of national memory is actually imagination as well?
A lot of it.
You know, like when the Americans talk about Columbus, as if, although now lately they are remembering who he actually was, but for the longest time it was a fiction. Or if you watch the movie Pocahontas.
A good part of it, you have to look at memory in terms of its utility. What is remembered depends on what it wants to be used for.
True.
So what you remember, whether it's in political history, is in service to the present thing. So, and in political narratives, it's usually in service to power.
Yeah.
It's in service to the power system. So it would be erased if it ceases to be.
Yeah.
You remember the demonstrations in South Africa way back. Even though some of those memories the statues had been on the streets and everything, when they were pulled down and the government didn't put them up, it simply means that at that moment in time, the political system was convenient and was happy with that erasure because it removed some kind of a burden on their shoulders as well. And they had to continue sort of lionizing some of the people who were basically their oppressors. So that's what a revolution does. A revolution, the first objective of a revolution is erasure. A revolution is supposed to erase.
Revolution of the people or even revolution of
both.
Because I'm thinking like when the Nazis came into power,
both.
The first thing they start doing is erasing modern art.
Yeah.
And
both.
I don't know if Hitler was taking this art and putting it in his personal collection.
I'm sure. I don't think it was being thrown away.
Because he was a lover of art.
Yeah, I don't think it was being thrown away. But you know, when you are sort of a megalomaniac, you want to put your narrative at the heart of the power structure. It happens in dictatorships, whether it's Lenin, whether it's it happens.
Yeah. Because Mao also went for the classics.
Yeah, Mao. It's the same. It's the same.
I don't know if we've done similar things here.
Oh, we have statues.
We've gone for that. Like I'm saying, like when we have a new whatever, and then we start going for. I feel like in Kenya, we still have the statues of the colonial times. We still have
in Kenya,
after 2002, we still continued to lionize Moi.
In Kenya, there has never been a complete overthrow.
We still have
of the colonial system.
We still have Nyayo Stadium, Kenyatta, Kenyatta University.
Yeah. Our scouts kids,
Macmillan Memorial Library.
Our scout kids still go to Nyeri for Baden Powell.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So in Kenya, Kenya is a very fluid.
Is Kenya, in terms of memory, that suggests something. If we are still remembering and retaining these names, you know, these rituals and whatever into our modern life, to what extent have we had a revolution from the colonial state?
No. There's never been a revolution, like in that sense, in Kenya, especially not of the mind, actually. So that kind of revolution has not.
We didn't decolonize.
No.
We did the Africanization.
No. We did Africanization. We didn't decolonize.
Yeah.
And
to what extent does that affect how we view ourselves in the world?
Kenya is usually, you know, Kenya and Zimbabwe, maybe South Africa. There's a difference between us and many African countries. You know, us, we were settler economy, colonies. It's like those people occupied. Yeah. And what happens in settler economies, there's a systematic destruction of the fabric of cultures in that system. And if you look at our cultures, even though now we are trying to sort of bring as many back, but they don't have, the foundational meanings were sort of ripped from them. We have artifacts, but we don't have the foundational meanings from them, because those foundational meanings were linked to actual cultural practices that were being done, like an actual way of life. So in Kenya we have artifacts, but their cultural meaning is sort of imebandikwa to, like, it's not the actual, it's you know how I go to, like, let's say the museum, and you know, and you find like this gourd or whatever, bow and arrow, and then like bow and arrow, this was used in war times, blah 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 blah. Like they've been sort of denuded from their true essence. So then they are standardized as Kenyan cultural artifacts. You know, so we've not really had that kind of revolution. Whether it's necessary or not is another question altogether.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Is it necessary?
Yeah, is it? Because
should we still have the Macmillan Memorial Library, named after a poacher, a colonialist, racist?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be Ngugi wa Thiong'o Memorial Library? Like, why don't we have institutions named after artists?
I don't know. You remember?
All of them are named.
You remember this time when Ngugi died,
Yes.
and I was really beaten by Facebook because I wrote a post on monuments.
Okay.
And I was writing that the colonialists knew the enduring power of stone.
Oh, you were talking about his decision to be cremated.
To be cremated.
Okay.
So saying the colonialists knew that enduring power of stone.
Yeah.
And especially cultural and political systems.
Were you the one who was talking about there's this place in London, a cemetery? Where all the poets are buried.
Yeah, I went there, visited the Adam Smith, David Hume, and
their philosophers.
And you'd wonder, why have they not sort of destroyed those cemeteries hundreds of years? It's because it is there from, their power will still come from there.
Yeah.
Even if Europe is weak, they have something.
Somebody said Europe is a museum.
Yeah, but they have something to bring back to life. Because if I was, if I was like a child of Ngugi, even if he was interred, I'd build his monument here.
At Kameredo.
Yeah, I'd build his monument, like very huge and very visible. For people who are going to come 50 years, so that they can see the sense of his life and how his life and what he talked about impacted us. But you know, for the colonial sort of even for white supremacy, the erasure is very beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah, the erasure is if there's no place to go to. There's a reason why there's Mecca, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why there's pilgrimage. There's a place to go. There's a reason why colonialists, after they were thrown out, you had a place to go back to.
And you just mentioned the Borden Powell
Yeah.
cemetery.
Yeah, but there's
a reason why we still don't know where Kimathi.
Yeah, now that's a good one. We know
we are not allowed to know.
Yeah, where Borden Powell was interred.
Yeah.
But we don't know where Dedan Kimathi was interred. And that shows you that the state, as it exists today, is still very interested in maintaining that narrative of Kenya. We are, in essence, culturally still colonized. Yeah.
You know the most popular place in Nairobi?
Where?
The most popular place for people to gather in Nairobi.
Uhuru Park or what?
No. I mean like in the city. It's by the statue of Tomboy.
It's by the statue of Tomboy.
Yeah.
You know? So
people gather there even during football games.
Yeah.
People gather there like Tupatane Archives. It's right there next to the statue.
So that is the way you maintain your memory in the history of any country. There's a reason why those who fought in the World War and World Wars and were whites or blacks who were buried in a specific cemetery. They were not taken back to their villages.
And we have so many of those cemeteries here.
Yeah,
we have in Gilgil,
memorial
in Nanyuki.
Yeah.
I think even here at Uhuru Park, maybe, I'm not sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But where are our cemeteries? Where are our cemeteries?
Yeah.
For our people. They are in very protected, not really accessible to the public. So, so a lot of how we think about memory is dependent on the power structure. And what does the power want to maintain? Yeah. And that's why now resistance is important. Writing alternative texts.
Okay.
Yeah, alternative texts. And I know because of the internet, a lot of that is happening. People are being told like, no, that's not what happened. What happened was this, and then when you dig like, But
I've also seen a lot of like that. There's a lot of misinformation as well.
Yeah.
Framed as rewriting or framed as telling the real story. One of the ones that I find really hilarious is when there's also a lot of ahistorical. You know, that instinct of denying actual history simply because it's not convenient. So let me give you the example of Kenyatta, who is today, he is not seen as a hero to many people. So now people go so much to the extreme when it comes to reclaiming that they now go to the opposite end. So now when they show, there's this popular picture of Kenyatta with white women. So they say this guy was just enjoying life with white women.
He was eating our money.
He was just eating white women while the Mau Mau were in the forest. Yet, in terms of even chronology, this picture is from the 1940s. The Mau Mau War is in the 1950s. And even historically, during the war, he was in prison.
No, we love, I don't know whether it's only the Kenyan society, but we love dichotomies. We love very linear sort of stories. If it's this end, we expect it just never to mix with this other story. We expect it to, if somebody is like a man of God, we run away with that man of God narrative, like forever. We hate it when somebody starts to mention, and unfortunately we are seeing it even now in social media. Yesterday I was watching the podcast that was done for Miguna. So it was talking about Babu Owino. it was talking about the inconvenient side of Babu Owino with all that DJ Evolve thing. And then I went to the comments, and man, the guy was abused and abused. Miguna was like, stones were flying, were flying.
Yeah.
So we, as Kenyans,
But Miguna himself is also unable to accept inconvenient.
Yeah, he's
very dichotomous as well.
Exactly. So you find a situation where now he's only putting that narrative as singularly, and then on this side there's this other narrative, and any moment anybody tries to mix those two realities, which they are observed realities, everybody, so that it becomes a problem. Becomes a problem, and it's because we have not defined what kind of a leader we want.
I want us to wind up. This time has flown, by the way. It's almost 2 hours.
It's almost 2 hours.
So there's something here. I wrote a couple of quotes which lean into what we are talking about Kenya. So this one, the first one is from Yvonne. I know you know these ones.
Silence.
Yes. So after Mboya, Kenya's official languages, English, Kiswahili, and silence. Then she says, there was also memory. Then this other one is from David Ndi. You also know it very well. This is a title of his article. Kenya is a cruel marriage. It's time we talk divorce.
Yeah.
Then the last one, I'm sure you know it as well, is from Paselelo Kantai. His article, The Ridiculous Generation.
Yes.
So it's a quote. He quotes somebody, Bethwel Ogot. So he starts, at a book launch in Nairobi in April 2006, Kenya's most famous historian, Professor Bethwel A. Ogot, stood up and declared that Project Kenya was dead. The ideals that the nationalists had stood for were bankrupt. Kenya, he said, had never been more distant an idea than it was now at the beginning of the 21st century. Mind you, this is 1 year before the 2007.
And it's very true.
Yes. Then he says, nationhood no longer existed. It had been replaced by sub-nationalism.
Yeah.
The different ethnic groups in effect had eaten up the country. These declarations were a terrible indictment on leadership. Now this is the interesting part for you. Especially since they were coming from a man who had devoted over 50 years of his life to writing Kenya into being. So the way he's framing this is that Kenya itself was a project.
Yeah.
So Kenya, as we have said, it's artificial, it's something being created. Or nationhood is something created. And then this is a historian. So you see, the state has the instruments of the power and the violence, but it seems the historians, the writers, have the instruments of the nation, because he's saying, this historian, Bethwel Ogot, the husband of Grace Ogot, by the way, spent 50 years of his life writing Kenya into being.
Yeah, that comment on subnationalism is, just last week we were laughing about it, and with people complaining about schools and national schools. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same
those are the manifestations of what he actually wrote about there. The idea that Kenyans do not see themselves as Kenyans. Yeah. And so, because Kenya is a small country, we are talking of short distances. Yeah. Kisumu, Nairobi, these are short distances. Yeah. But a national school in Nairobi or in Kiambu is still having the community still have a problem with the idea that students can come from other places. So it is that the struggle to write Kenya into being and talking about the ideals, and then it falls flat on your face when such a conversation becomes like, damn, that's a national conversation. It shows you that it has refused to become.
How many years later after independence? 60 60.
Yeah, it has become such a conversation. And this is not to say that
yet
it is singular.
Yet, on the other hand, what we saw in the 2024 protests is actually like, wow, the nation is actually real.
We thought we became a nation, like a country like Kenya.
Yeah, and maybe we did.
And then 2 years later.
Yeah.
But then you also have to look at it that it's the imagination.
It seems
continues.
It seems like the whole idea, when I look at history of Kenya, it seems like the history of Kenya is a series of nationhood fighting this micro-nationhood. So like there's this article Mamdani wrote, not the mayor, his father, what's his name? Mamhood Mamdani.
Yeah.
So there's an article he wrote about ICC.
Yeah.
And he says that in 2010, August, Kenya had effectively detribalized because of the promulgation of the 2010 constitution.
Yeah.
So there was that detribalization moment where we are Kenyan, because we have this event, this document, and we are all together. We are Kenyan.
Yes.
Then in December 2010, the ICC, Ocampo, released a list of 6 individuals,
and then,
which then retribalized us.
Yeah.
So his argument was the ICC, by releasing this list at this time, by populating it with leaders based on ethnic, tribes and so on, what they actually were doing, they actually failed to look at the political cost of that list. They only looked at it from the point of view of the criminal justice system, yet this was a political problem.
Yeah, but even
so then the question is, when I read that article, if the ICC list had not been released in 2010, if it had been deferred, who would have been president in 2013?
Completely different. And that's a really good example of how certain historical things change other things, even though the people, the actors who are now beneficiaries are not the actual architects.
Yeah. So think about it that way. Raila, on the cusp of, not the cusp, on the power of the 2010 constitution, which was his narrative starting in the 1990s, he has effectively seen it through now to the promulgation. This constitution, which he even fought for in 2005, who else would have been president?
He would have been, I think he would have been the president. But now that's a good aspect of how certain things, certain historical things happening elsewhere. And this contest about really nationhood, I think for countries it doesn't end. It's a continuous. I think if you look at the United States now, it's the same thing. This is a country that had constitutionally sort of marketed itself as the place of immigrants. But that is now. There's a certain essentialization that has happened in the white majority that wants them to erase the very idea.
I saw an article saying that the United States is actually not a single nation. It has, 7 nations. And a lot of it is tied to the Civil War. Partly, and also now the former states, how they were. There were certain regions. So you find that even in terms of behaviors, the way people think, the way people vote politically, there are those very distinct.
There are places that don't change. They are forever.
So if they ever had another civil war, it would split according to those. And I'm like, the United States is actually dealing with the same problems that we are dealing with as Kenya.
It's the same contest. You go to India, it's the same thing. You go to China.
Tanzania may be the only country that
China
has successfully.
Same thing. I don't know, maybe
Tanganyika.
Maybe we are outsider looking in.
Maybe.
And because we have for a long time.
Or they don't have a lot of freedom.
For a long time, we always thought that nothing, they would not rise up, they would not. And then something happens. Magufuli comes in, and so we don't have those kind of presidents we were used to having in. And like just guys who are just like easy vibes and not killing anybody, no demonstration, no nothing. And then things blow.
But my point was like they may be the one country which has managed to unify many tribes into one nation cohesively. It seems so from the outside looking in. Even with these killings,
it's still there's a certain still Tanzania.
I think the only
we didn't hear of tribes. We don't hear of this tribe being killed. Or the leadership comes from this tribe. Therefore,
the only thing we had was Zanzibar and Tanganyika.
Exactly. So I think there's still the strength. They have a big strength there, and I wish they should not throw it away. Maybe they should just listen to the people and try to do as best as they can. They have a beautiful thing. Though I know the haters now because of regional politics and all that, but they have a beautiful thing there that really glues the idea of a nation together.
But I fear one day leaders will try to use divide and rule.
It might even be happening now.
You see, now when the leader is insecure, I think probably the
one party thing. The one party thing is what is preventing.
That's what I was thinking actually.
That kind of sort of balkanization, if you want to call it that.
I've been wondering if one party is actually a better system, given that
ideologically,
because even China the same thing.
Ideologically,
when you have one party,
there's one voice.
Even in terms of economic development.
Ideologically, it's easier to drive sort of national consciousness in a certain way, because there's no contest on narrative. You don't have people coming up with alternative realities. But if it was a multi-party, I think.
You remember violence in Kenya started after multi-party.
I think multi-party, especially because of the kind of leadership that we have, somebody starts from what is my primary constituency. What is my primary constituency? Especially if you started from the perspective of
the tribe.
We are trying to fight and topple the overriding power. So it's subtle. What is your primary constituency? And that constituency is most likely your tribe.
True.
Because it's the only constituency that you can talk to in a different language that sort of the power that we cannot fully interpret. And so you sort of rally around, and Kenya has remained that way, even though we are democracy, as we say we are, but most of our political parties and the coalitions they form are purely based on the tribe as a constituency. This is not necessarily a bad thing. We've always argued that we should accept the tribe as being a legit political constituency, and we should remove the negative sort of that we usually put on tribe, because when Trump is campaigning in America, he wants to appeal to the Asian Americans, appeal to Black Americans, appeal to the Hispanics. These are tribes, right? In essence, those are tribes. But then how comes the American system do not talk about them as tribes? It's because the politicians there are appealing to them based on their interests. Like if, let's say, health is affecting more Black communities, when you go to speak to them, you essentialize that topic. When immigration, let's say, is a big issue among the Hispanics and whatever. When you go to speak to them, you talk about how you are going to solve that problem. So in Kenya, maybe the new class of politicians should talk about tribe in terms of the interests of those tribes. So let's say, for example, if you are a Luo and you want to appeal to the Luo, and let's say you are a Kikuyu and you want to appeal to the Luo, and you go and look at what are their interests, both within the geography that they occupy and the culture. So if you tell them, like, look, we are going to build for a museum that has these big statues of Luanda Magere and these stories and what, and then if you go to another community that occupies a specific place that has a specific potential, let's say, for example, you've gone to Northeastern Province area, and then you talk about the potential of that place. But you know that needs work, and our politicians do not want to do the work. They want the low-lying fruit, which is just like those people are fighting our people because we are of different tribe.
It seems Rigathi is reading from your line, because yesterday he was addressing the people in Northeastern through their radio stations.
Yeah, so that is,
and I've seen them resonating.
I like the line, even though we've talked about the school thing, I like that line of reasoning, because then it looks like, okay, if I'm coming from this place and there's a certain lack, what potential does that place have that I, as a national leader, can help solve?
Yeah.
You know? And so even though that community stays there, that singular problem is more pervasive in that area.
Yeah.
That's the tribe itself. There's a lot of negative sort of connotation on tribe as a political constituency, which need not be.
Yeah.
But it's because of our historical precedents, the way we've always treated tribe. But there's always some very specific potential, especially in a place like Kenya, where tribes are living in the same place they have always lived for hundreds of years or thousands of years. So it means there's a potential in those places, which when I come to that constituency, I can let's campaign with. I don't have to go to everywhere and say, like, I'll build stadiums, I'll build roads, I'll build an airport. No, I come to your place and the potential that you have is like, how can we build that potential? Because that potential is defined by your climatic condition in that place. So whether it's agriculture, whatever, that potential is defined by you as a person, as a cultural being. There are certain things you like more than other things. And so I should put that forward rather than, we mostly campaign in opposition to something. So we don't want to say what specifically nitawasaidia nayo as a people. We want these general standardized national development things, which should be obvious. Those should be like, every candidate should want to build roads, should want to build airports, should want to build dams. Those are standard development priorities for everywhere. But then, how do I appeal to a Samburu? So I think maybe the conversation will change, and we view tribe as a positive political constituency.
Let's see how the cookie is going to crumble in this year and the year to come. And I really hope Project Kenya is going to pull through. I feel actually we especially with the view that with this idea of now we are, especially the young people, because they live on the internet. So now there's starting to be a new tribalism of nation against other nations. We are Kenyan against Tanzania, against Nigeria, against... and we even have our friends, Uganda, Ethiopia.
That professor's statement just view it as hip hop is dead, as Nas hip hop.
Oh yeah. Hip hop is dead.
Yeah, it's sort of like a wake up
To wake
call.
us up, okay. Yeah.
Like we need to do better. We need to do better.
Yeah.
I think we are. We are trying. We are still talking to each other, and that's a beautiful thing. We should not stop. We should not stop quarreling.
Yeah.
Verbal quarrels is important.
We should not retreat into our cocoons.
Yeah, we should not retreat. So that makes us better. Yeah.
So asante sana.
Thank you for hosting.
That was I know the people viewing watasema that was top notch.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, you have other books beside this one? Sisi Afrika has
Sisi Afrika has other books. One of the books that we are pushing now, Humanized Leader, speaks into the sense that leaders should be people who are human beings, not just pushing to exercise power over people, whether they are their subjects or followers, but people who should lead with humanity so that we have the well-being of the followers should be central to leadership, nothing else. We have another book called Masai, Masai Warrior to Statesman. So this is a biography of Moses.
Is it autobiography or biography?
That's an autobiography.
Okay. What about the Humanized Leader?
No, that's a leadership book.
Okay. In the voice of the author?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then so Ole Marima was the second MP for Narok North. So he's one of the people who benefited from the Tomboya, which of course became JFK airlifts. So it's a beautiful book. It shows a lot about the Maasai, their culture, how he became one of the youngest MPs, his experience in the United States. And the most recently, there have been sort of Ruto's return of the to the Maasai, Maasai Mara, right? The Maasai. So the foundation of where the problem started, I think in 1974, is in that book. So it gives good context as opposed to some of the things we've had to talk about here. So those are some of the books we have.
Available at
Nuria. Nuria stocks all the books, but we're also stocking in other bookshops. But if you jump in Nuria, you'll get all our books.
So
yes.
So we'll call you again. Ukuje utuambie story ya Kwani. That's another story. Kwani Jalada.
Kwani Jalada.
Kwani Jalada. And now Sisi Afrika.
Yes.
Your stories as a publisher, as somebody,
as an editor. And
I don't know if those are two conversations. As a publisher is a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Because that's about the economy, what do you call it? How the business side of it.
The business.
But then there is also history of Kenyan literature, which you have been a part of.
Yeah, but you had Milkwa here that gave a very beautiful history. Otieno.
Yes.
He was there. I gave a really
I also had Tony. He also gave me Kwani.
Yeah, very
but
beautiful.
There are many. You know, like you've just said.
Yeah, the different strands that link up.
Nobody has told me the story of Jalada. So, and Jalada is the child of Kwani, I think, right?
Yes.
Maybe.
To an extent.
In terms of the people who are there.
Yeah, Jalada was formed in a workshop.
Yes.
Convened by Kwani. So yes.
Exactly. Yes. So we need to say that as we record this, part of what we are doing is also the memory, literary memory, because we have political memory. What about literary memory? Do we memorialize our writers, our movements, what they did? Do we talk about them? Some of these books that were written back then are out of print. Some of these writers I see a lot in the literary industry. somebody comes in, does something
doing
for a
some
few years,
incredible work,
then they fall out and they're forgotten.
Yeah, life happens.
Yeah, life happens. They grow up,
Yeah.
They want to now go and start families and focus on making money, and maybe they get forgotten.
Yeah, we forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, forgetting is one of our national pastimes.
Yes, so we don't want to do that. So we'll invite you 2 more times.
Thank you.
So there you have it. This was another conversation. We were here with Richard Oduor Oduku. My name is Eric Rogara. You may also call me Miyamoto Muswahili. This is Conversations in Literature, which is sponsored by Nairobi Academic Press. The show it's on YouTube, the Roaring Simba Network. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Until next time.